from plants. It doesn't benefit them to tell you, oh, this plant will do this. But what they will say is, this drug does this, or that drug with that, which is made from that plant.
That's right.
So that way they can economically, you know, they can make sure that, you know, they're receiving funds for giving you that information and then keeping you as a customer. But so
Forever.
For the rest of your life, yeah. And like even in that work we were doing today in the workshop, and the reality is that, you know what they're saying is, by the time you're 40, 50, at least you're on one kind of medication. Most people are on a medication by the time they hit 50, and you're on that medication, you tend to be on it for the rest of your life. Doesn't matter how long you live. So we understand that that's not about healing, because healing, you go through a phase of illness, but you come back to well-being. Right. So we're not talking about health, we're talking about management. And that management, attached to that are business interests, which is attached to that. So these series of workshops, and I like how you're so organized, my sister. You know, you can tell me the date I came in. I love that. So these series of workshops is really for the community to help to educate and really share. You know, but there are a number of other workshops that I'm doing. You know, I've been doing things with the Nation of Islam. I have something happening with fibroids later on in the month. I have one for a group of people who deal with women who have been abused and so forth. So we're looking at the impact of you know, of how nutrition and herbs can help even in, you know, those areas. So there's a number of things happening, but this particular workshop is one that's actually happening next week. It starts next week. And it's a 4-week holistic health workshop. We actually again, it's another group, but I was doing some workshops in Lewisham. Again, it's a separate one, but we should be doing something at the Stephen Lawrence Centre down there, and we'll give you some information on that. But there is so much happening in the world of health, and it's fantastic because people are taking back their power. You know, one of the ways that your power is taken from you is when you sit in front of someone and you give over everything to that person. You say, okay, heal me, you know, without realizing that you have the power to heal yourself.
That's right.
You know, so it's part of the empowerment, you know, and it's holistic.
For those of you who have just locked on, we're speaking with Sista Kandaki from Instrumental Health, who's going to be doing a series of workshops, and she's coming to just share that. You're also listening to my voice, Lady Leo, from
Lady Leo.
Lady Leo, and you're in tune to blessradio.org. Yes. So tell us a little bit about the courses. I mean, there's
okay.
So is it 4?
Yes,
just 4 this time.
So this one, So this one, really, this would have probably been a 7 or even a 9-week workshop. But what happened was, I was in Jamaica. I had to make a surprise trip, and oh dear, you know, just tragic. I had to make it, but the reality, I did have to go, so that cut into the time. So, but I mean, it was good because, you know, we went into the bush, we got enough herbs and brought back, and we got some good medicines from there. But so this one, and what we tend to do is, you know, by the time it gets to December, it gets so cold, people don't want to come out, and it's winter. So the last one, as you can see, is preparing people for the winter. Let me start with week 1. We're looking at the modern concepts of nature and health. So, you know, we're looking at the models that we have here, the contemporary models under which we are in. But then we're looking at, well, the contemporary models are really only a couple of 100 years old.
That's right.
And human beings have been on the planet for hundreds of thousands of years, if not millions of years, you know. So there is a long-standing, you know, history of peoples across every continent that have known how to use the nature to heal themselves, you know. So we put that in balance, and then we look at, you know, the aspects of nature and health, what that actually means, and we go deeper into understanding the key that nature is, you know, because we understand that science is the modern God. You know, if you want to swear by anything. Just say, oh, the scientists have said or studies have shown,
Yeah.
and that's it. You get the green card.
That's right. That's
you got the pass because
and
science
everybody believes you.
Exactly. That's it.
and whether
That's
there's
the new
science there
God,
or not.
right? So that's the new God. Or one time it was, you could say God. Now say science shows or study shows, and it's believed. And so, but we understand that. Well, what is science? And we know that science is a study of the natural world. It's a study of nature. So then, which one is the superior one? The one who does the studying or the one who is being studied? It has to be the one who's being studied because there's something for you to learn
from them. That's right.
So science is learning from nature. Nature is our first teacher.
That's right.
And people across the world have always had their ways of investigating nature, their ways of questioning nature and getting answers from nature. We've all done that. Every nation, every people has.
Right.
So science, which is simply that, it's an investigation into nature. Science, what this is the European way of questioning nature. But it's been held up as the only way. It's a European way. And so what we do is have a look at some of the traditional ways of questioning nature and getting the answers that we want from nature. So the first week we'll look a bit about that nature and health and this whole thing about what health is, because we're talking about holistic health. So again, how we understand health or how we are programmed is that when you're sick, you go to a building, and in that building there is someone there who is the epicenter of knowledge, and you sit in front of that person, and that person writes. You tell them this is your problem, and they write something and they give you. You go to another building and you hand over that slip that you've been given, and you will get the antidote, or you will get you will get the cure for your illnesses.
You forgot to mention that when you go to the person and tell them what's wrong with you, they go in their drawer sometimes, and they flick through the book, and they find it. So sometimes they don't even know it. No. Because one of the things that I think that we should stress is that your GP is not necessarily a doctor. Your GP is a general practitioner. And some of you need to learn the two. And that's why when you go to your GP, they don't know what's wrong with you half the time, because they're not a doctor.
Well, to be honest, there's so many different conditions.
That's right.
There's so many different conditions. You can't keep all of that in your head.
That's right.
So what they'll do, if it's not one that they're familiar with, they'll go to a book.
That's right.
But the other way, so that's the condition, but sometimes they'll also flick through the BNF, the British National Formulary, where they're looking for what drugs to give you. Because I think what the key thing is to understand is that there are two industries that have come together, but they look like they're the same thing, but they're not. They work together now, though. And what it is, you have the doctor who is there to care for you. So the doctor is the one who traditionally would have been the medicine man or the medicine woman, and traditionally the one who looked at you, saw what the issues were that was going on with you. They then had the power and the knowledge to go and find the necessary herb or you might call it drug to put together and heal you. So there it was a complete package when you went to that person. How the system has had it now, the doctors no longer have the knowledge. There was, even in Europe here, there was a time when the doctors would go to places like Chelsea Physics and learn about the plants and learn about what you would use. That was phased out. And the pharmaceutical companies took full control of the medicine side. So what the doctors can do, they can prescribe. They have no power over the drugs that you are given. They are just told these are the areas of drugs that you will prescribe for this person. So when they go to the book, they might not know which specific drug to give you, because that whole part is another industry.
Right.
So the doctor cares for you. Yeah, he's the one who prescribes and that, but he has no control over the drugs. He doesn't make the drugs. He has nothing to do with that. That's the pharmaceutical industry, and that's where the money is. Because that one individual that comes to you, if you think about someone's on a drug for 30, 40 years, that's 30, 40 years of income. Because although that individual may not pay for it, the pharmaceutical companies don't make drugs and give them away free. So somebody has to pay. So the NHS, all of that you pay, your taxes and that's why you have the NHS. So the NHS buys these drugs from the pharmaceutical companies and have them wherever they are, but these are drugs that are paid for. So it might look like to you it's free, but it's not free. The pharmaceutical. So every time someone takes a drug, they get paid. It's a business. It's not just a business, it's an industry. So I think it's really important because I've worked with doctors, yes, some of them are very arrogant and so forth, and they think they know it all, but reality soon brings them down to earth, especially when they face their own mortality. They realize they don't know it all. So that usually brings people down to earth. But I like to believe in working, alongside, yes, this whole system's rife with arrogance anyway, but when someone goes and studies for 3-4 years, yes, there's the prestige of it, but actually, you're learning, take time to learn about the human body, you're learning about diseases. It's because there's an aspect of you that wants to work in that field. And there's that aspect of you that wants to help. But as you're going through medical school, what you're told is, okay, these are the drugs that you use. When you see this condition, you use that. The doctors have no control over that. So during their training, they're told what they must give for that condition. Okay. So when you see them looking in their books, they're looking, which one of these drugs shall I give this person? Because maybe this person has that and that. So let me give them this one from that particular group of drugs. So they're an agent, really. That's right. So we will look a bit more at the traditional v modern concepts of nature and health, and that will be in the first week. The second week we look at the importance of nutrition and herbal medicine, and again we'll go a bit into the science of nutrition and herbal medicine. How we use nutrition, which is the foundation, and then the science of herbal medicine, how we then use herbal medicine for healing, the different parts of the plants that we use for healing, how you can use the plant. You can use the plant, drink it as a tea. You can use it topically. You might, put it on topically. It's on the skin, on the body. You might use it topically. You might make pessaries out of it. You might use tinctures, extract it in. What parts are you using? The berries? Are you using the root? Are you using the flower? Are you using the seeds? Are you using the stem, the bark? So the different parts of the plant, what they've used for, and we'll talk about some different plants and how we can use them. So we'll really get an introduction into herbal medicine. Because it's a short course, we're not going to have the weeks where we could extend into the 12 weeks where we can really get deeper into certain conditions. But what this is an appetizer, so that by next year, if someone wants to go in deeper, they can go in deeper.
It's got the foundation.
The third week, and I've put this one, so there's many that I looked and I thought, okay, which one should I thought detoxifying mind and body using herbs and nutrition, because at least that's something that you can do now.
That's right.
It's always good to detox your body, especially you're going to go into the Christmas season. You're going to eat a whole heap of junk food. You're going to eat cake. You're going to eat coconut drop. You're going to drink like a wine. If you never drink, anyone who never drink before, I'm going to get a little drink, eat big dinner, So a good detox after that won't go amiss, so detoxification for the mind. And so we look at nutrition and herbs that you can use, different fasts, different types of fasts that you can use to cleanse the body. So that there's a detox. And then in week 4 now we prepare you for the winter. So we're looking at herbs and nutrition that help to boost the immune system. That's right. What I've been looking and realizing over these last few years is that these viruses that are hitting right now, they're like some super virus gonna lick. They ain't ramping. That's right. So what you want to do again is to is to give your body a fighting chance. So that when they do come to attack your body's up and ready to deal with it. Right. So we're looking at certain herbs again, lifestyle herbs, identifying the herbs, some tea tasting, and that kind of thing. I'm going to be giving some seeds that people can next year they can start planting. So like we're coming up, because one of the things I do as well is growing. I'm into growing
we
food.
spoke about that this summer.
That's
Lots of
right.
lovely photos came in.
Doing a lot of growing. So now, you know, we just picked, we've got another one out there, pumpkin. That's the last thing to come in now. So, and this is in the back space that really, you know, we haven't even got any space on the ground. So we've been growing in containers and a little space at the back. So you know, even this evening we're having dinner, we took a couple more tomatoes that are still out there. The frost hasn't fully killed a couple of them that's out there. So there's one more pumpkin. So we're just bringing that in. But now, for those who, you know, plant ahead for next year, for example, things like onions,
yes, it's onion season,
garlics, we can start, you know, getting the soil ready to be putting those in, tilling the soil, giving it a little rest if you've got anything in there, and then, you know, maybe feeding it before you start putting in your onions and garlic to go through the winter. You know, so
I thought you do your onions and garlic already.
No, I didn't. The garlic and onion that I reaped this year, I didn't put them until even January.
Okay.
Yeah, you can put them in up until, So, yeah. So some people would have put them in already, but some people, they're around now is when you're putting them. But I didn't put last year's one in until January.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's useful to know.
Yeah, but I mean, don't wait until January. I mean, I would just do some things that I didn't put. Do not wait until January. You can put them in now. Yeah. Put them in now. Yeah.
I think next year we're going to look at that because, I mean, this year I started my own food garden. It was lovely picking up the cucumbers, which were hard. They remind me of, you know, the yellow melon. They wasn't watery and like how you get them in the shop. It was you get to bite into them, you know. Right. And you know the tomatoes are different. Everything tastes different. It tasted real, right? So quite a few people. We've been talking to quite a few people, and I've been talking to quite a few people. I've been to some allotments as well to see what are going on in people's allotments. So I think next year we're going to start early and a group of us and just get that done. Good.
And is that at home or in an allotment?
At home. Mine is all at home.
Yes.
I know somebody who has grown lots of different kind of foods, and they don't even have a garden. They live in flats.
Of course, and that's one thing we always, encourage people. You know, you can get a little pot,
that's
and there's so many things that you don't have to have a garden. Like I said, mine is at the back. It's concrete. So what I have is like growing containers, and I think we grew, apart from the pumpkin, we had potato, carrots, the onions, the garlic. There's so many
chili peppers.
We didn't do any red peppers. We didn't do any chili, but those are carrots.
Have you tried the
kalalu?
What about
yakon? We did that a few years ago.
Lovely.
And as you know, we have the school project that we do growing in the school. So you know, it's so important getting back to the earth. It's really, really important. And it is good to see so many people getting back to the earth. Right. And when you can start to taste and, you know, grow and taste for yourself, I mean, you know, it's there's wonderful. Nothing like it. So definitely.
That's what we want to be pushing next year. And I think, you know, each one will be helping each other to keep going, you know.
That's
like
right.
Like I said, you do not need your own garden. Just get big containers.
You can get containers
and do it in there. Yeah. Make sure you put holes in the bottom of the containers, and that's so you got your drainage.
And the other thing is, you know, you can do your what were these? I set them up in the schools and I can't remember. Anyway, you can set up with the wooden thing and you put the dirt in it. What do you call those things again?
Is it just a garden bed?
No, bed. Yeah, it's a growing bed. Yeah, there's a name for it. But for a growing bed, I mean, if you don't have your containers, that's another thing. You can, you know, just but it costs a bit more because you have to buy the soil.
I've seen
or the
people
compost.
do it on their windowsill and get a piece of mesh and it has to, the wind don't blow it off.
There's roof gardens. There's lots of roof gardens that are all around the city. You know, there's a group of sisters. They're hard growing. You know, but they you know they're. In fact, there's a move afoot by Sadiq Khan. They're actually consulting people who do growing. So, you know, for years I've been associated with a growing community. We've been doing that for years. So I set up the project in the school about 6-7 years ago. And you have sisters in South London who have these groups for years. They've been growing, and you have Sadiq Khan now, who is doing consultations among these local groups out there to find they're looking at the best way to help Londoners to move forward in terms of growing. So in the next year probably you're going to hear a lot more about growing for yourself, and so it's there, it's underground, and finally it's coming up. Because I mean, even this today before I came in, I was seeing somebody showing this thing about cabbage and the plastic in the cabbage. I mean, it's getting from bad to worse. It's getting from bad to worse.
So at least you can now take control of your own food, and taking control of your own food helps you to take control of your own health as well.
Definitely.
It goes hand in hand.
Health and well-being. So
Imhotep said, let your food be your medicine and let your medicine be your food.
That's right.
So,
That's right. And so with herbs, we take it that step further. So now, just like that, your green vegetables got all the different things in it, your seeds, your omega-3s, your omega-6, the greens have got your magnesium, your potassium, the calcium, all these different minerals that the greens will give you. The herbs have certain what we call phytochemicals that when the body is injured, or when the body is in need, or when there's a tumor, or when there's heavy bleeding, might be a styptic herb, a herb that can stop the bleeding.
That's right.
Or if you're not bleeding enough, a herb that can help to regulate the hormonal system and give the flow. So this now takes it to another level where now it's not just the because you have to have the foundation. You need the nutrition. That's the foundation. But then you step it up now, and you get this specialist knowledge of the herbs and how they help the human being. So this is where we're taking it. We're getting people to become more aware of nutrition and herb, and it's great the work that you're doing, that you're getting people more, you're putting it out there more, because that's what we need to be doing, that putting that out there more about growing your own food, because that's where it starts. That's the foundation.
Okay, just tell us where and when. You told us what.
Yes. So if you want to learn more about holistic health and the art and science of using nutrition and herbal medicine for healing, then this is the course for you. It's a 4-week course with the different areas that we've just mentioned. It's at the Temple of Ma'at, Shrine of Mami Wata, Mama At Centre, and that's 366A High Road, Tottenham, N17 9HT. It's on Thursday, November the 8th, that's when it starts, the 15th, the 22nd and 29th. So it's for 4 weeks. It's from 6:30 to 9 p.m. If you pay in advance, it's £50. So you see how reasonable this is cost. So it's actually a reduced rate course. I've tried to keep the course down as much as possible. That's why I'm trying to deliver it to the community. It's 55 on the door, and if you want to do individual workshop, it's 15. Okay. You can call or email for advance payment details, or if you want to ask any questions, you can call on 079 497 13639. That's 079 497 13639. So if you want to know more about the holistic 4-week holistic health course that's been run here, it's been run in North London, Tottenham. You can give myself a call on 079 497 13639. My name is Kandaki. So if you are interested, do give me a call. And while I'm here, I'd just like to maybe just highlight one more event that's happening over this weekend.
Before you do that, yes, because I was going to ask if you had anything, but you can also email instrumentalhealth@yahoo.com.
Yes.
That's instrumentalhealth@yahoo.com.
That's right.
Yes.
Thank you.
If there's anything else you want to promote, you can do.
Yes. So thank you. So one of the things that by taking this whole holistic health and traditional knowledge and herbal medicine. By taking it to another level, we went back home to Africa, and I'm happy to be working alongside the Dogon people in West Africa. And this Sunday there is a graduation. And a graduation, so the priest just came in today. He just came in. He's from Burkina Faso. They're from the temples in Burkina Faso, and he came in to the country today. And what this is, it's a graduation. So these students who are going through, they've been in initiation. So that's, you know, almost like a school where you learn traditional knowledge. They've been in for the last year and a bit, and they are now graduating. So Sunday is a graduation. So if you want to see a traditional graduation from the Dagomba people of West Africa, they'll be graduating 2 UK students. You can come and celebrate with the rest of the initiates from the Egyptian Mystery School, because the Dogons are the gatekeepers of health. They are the ones who were the priest to the pharaohs in ancient Kemet, who you call Egypt, in ancient Kemet. So they have kept that knowledge and they teach that in their Kemetic school. So 2 students here in the UK are graduating. They're coming out of the first level, which is called Per Ankh, the House of Life. And that ceremony will be held at the Dalgarno Trust, 1 Webb Close, Dalgarno Way, and that's London, W10 5Q for Quebec and B for Belt.
Can you spell Dalgarno?
Dalgarno is Dalgarno. So that's the Dalgarno Trust, 1 Webb Close, Dalgarno Way, London, West 10, 5QB. It's a free event, okay? So that event will be this Sunday, the 4th of November, 2018, and that's 5 till 8:30 p.m. So if you are interested and want to know a bit more about the Dogon people, or just about initiation, or interested in traditional initiation, or you may be interested in actually maybe becoming a student, going into the initiation yourself, this will be a good chance for you to get an idea of what happens, especially around graduation. So thank you. I just wanted to share that. If you do want to get in contact with anyone, you can contact 0207 175 4144. That's 0207 175 4144 if you want to contact anyone there. Or you can contact the Earth Center. Center is ter.org. The Earth Center, that's center with CENTER.org. So yes, those are the two.
The Earth Center, yes, they ring a bell because they've been in here before, haven't they? Yes, I'm sure that they came in as well. The Earth Center. Yeah.
Yes.
No, the Dogon. Yes, the Dogon, because he spoke about that. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's them doing the. Did they do the training prior to the graduation?
Right. So the priest, they've been here in the UK for 4 years, and so yes, the priest came and he taught for 2 years here. And so he comes and goes, and he also has initiates that are here that teach in the schools. So he will come in from time to time, but there are initiates that teach in the school the teachings of ancient Kemet.
That's right.
So this is where these 2 are now graduating from, the Per Ankh, the House of Life.
The House of Life. Okay. I didn't know that's what Per Ankh meant, because I know the Per Ankh organisation in Bristol, I think it is, but I never knew that's what it meant.
Per is the house and Ankh is life. And that's another thing that you learn during the initiation. You learn how to speak. They call it hieroglyphics. But it's Medu. So in the temples they still speak Medu. So Europeans thought it was a dead language, but they were still practicing it in the temples, and they still speak in Medu. So you learn to read, write, and speak Medu.
I think I've heard that. I could have heard it on Saturday when we went to the we actually did a trip to the British Museum.
Yes, I saw it being church. That's right.
Yeah, so Medu.
Yes, that's the
proper way of saying it.
That's the actual way the ancients said it.
Is there anything else that you'd like to, because I know you're busy, I know you've got quite a few different things going on. Is there anything else you want to promote?
I just want to thank you for giving me this time here, for sharing, for allowing me to share, you know,
what you're doing.
And also about the Dogon, because I think it's really important that, especially we as a people, get reacquainted with our traditions, with whichever group of people you want to become associated with, because we don't realize how much deep knowledge there really is. The knowledge, and the thing is, you know, unfortunately, our people tend to stay away from traditional people, but actually when you go into the villages and so forth, you see someone going to do their doctorate or the professorship, sitting down in the village and draining all that knowledge and taking it back and writing their thesis and the doctorate. Yes. There's a reason why they're there.
Of course.
So, you know, there's knowledge beyond your wildest expectations in that very simple way, you know. You know, there's a saying, wisdom is found in the simplest of places.
That's right.
And that's what our ancients still hold, that ancient wisdom in a very simple way, but it's very powerful. So yeah, so you know, again, like when I came in, I'm gonna say it's do the same as I leave. You know, I came in acknowledging my ancestors, and I want to leave acknowledging my ancestors and acknowledging the divine world. So once again, Sister Leo, Lady Leo, I want to thank you for the time that you've afforded me on the station, and thank you for the work that you've been doing and you're constantly doing. And I know you're gearing up for Kwanzaa.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask you about that, because I know you're going to be working on Kwanzaa. You work on Kwanzaa every year. How's that going?
You naughty sister. It's going as it always does. And things speed up as you get closer to the time. Yeah. But yeah, so you know, Kwanzaa happens in the community. I also want to acknowledge the 2nd of November, the coronation of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie and Empress Menen. That's why I'm acknowledging it. Today, who were crowned on this day, 2nd of November 1932. We acknowledge the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. And we acknowledge the Rasta man and the Rasta woman who have held high the red, gold, and green. Black liberation, African spirituality, African tradition. We want to send out those words sound to our brothers and sisters who are still standing strong. So I'd like to acknowledge. Yeah. Yes, give thanks.
Thank you for that, because I'm not going to lie. It went over my head. So thank you. That you was meant to be here today. Yes, Sister Kandaki is going to be rushing off now, because like I said, she's got another meeting to go to this evening. And that's how busy you are. Do you want to say hello to anybody whilst you're there, whilst you're here? Hello, goodbye.
Just hailing up, you know, each and every one of us as we're on this road in life. We're all on this journey of life, whether it be my mother, my sister, my brother, my husband, my friend, someone I don't know. We're all in this journey of life. We start as a baby and we end up going through and transitioning, you know. So as we take these steps on these journeys, you know, we ask for continual guidance. We ask for wisdom, and we ask for the protection, because we know that the times that we are living in,
perilous times.
And you know, so if I'm gonna say, I have to say a shout out to our mothers who are having to bear the burdens of seeing what is happening to their children on the street. As I came out today, I heard another one of our children was taken away at 15. You know, so
you said mothers. Let's do the balance.
Sorry. So yes, we're not leaving our fathers out. So those who are having to still bear the weight of this colonial wickedness that was inflicted upon our people, and it's still playing out today. You know, those things we don't mince word with, you know. And for our brothers who went through the mill and are
That's
still
right.
going through the mill. So if I'm going to shout out to those, I'm going to shout for the Most High and our ancestors, lift them up and give them strength as they make their way through this life,
Yes,
you know, and for continual guidance and protection to give you the strength to go through and to overcome. So my sister...
I know you're going to rush off now, but I was talking earlier on about, maybe just run this one by you. I don't know if you know that this decade, 2015 to 2024, is the International Decade for People of African Descent.
That's right.
What does this mean? Because there's so much happening in this decade, so much atrocities happening worldwide with our people, and yet it's the UN's. I mean, I don't understand it.
But, you know, and I am going to have to see that. But what I would say is, you know, His Majesty said, until the colour of a man's skin is of no more significance than the colour of his eyes. And we have gotten to a place in time and space now where humans and humanity will have to rise. And it will not come down to the colour of your skin. It will come down to your humanity. So that doesn't negate the history, that doesn't negate what has happened in the past. But as we move forward, who will stand in humanity and stand for humanity? And those are the ones who will be the humane ones.
That's right.
And so this is really where we're heading for, because at this time now, it's not even discriminating against skin anymore. It's black, white, Indian, Chinese. Such is where things are at now. So we're in a crucial time, you know. So that's where I'm gonna leave it now. But
once again,
remember, we are wonderfully and fearfully made, and we don't just look out for the savior that is outside of us. We look for the one that's within.
Yeah.
Give thanks, my sister.
Thank you so much, Sister Kandaki. It's always a pleasure to have you. If ever you have anything that you want to promote, I know I said that last time. I think July was really busy, but whenever you want to come in again, you do come in. Go safely. Yeah, take care. That was our lovely Sister Kandaki, who's off now. Like I said, she's been very busy. She came from one meeting today. She's popped in here for a short time and off to another meeting now. You know, we just hope that she's guided along in her way and on her journey. Yeah. Sister Kandaki from Instrumental Health, just sharing with us the courses that she's going to be running over the next 4 weeks, from the 8th to the 29th, every Thursday in the month of November, from 6:30 p.m. to 9 o'clock. Just to remind you, week 1 is traditional and modern concepts of nature and health. Week 2, the importance of nutrition and herbal medicines. Week 3, detoxifying mind, body using herbs and nutrition. Week 4, prepare for the winter. Yeah, boost your immune system and well-being with nutrition, herbs and lifestyle. Also, identifying herbs, tea tasting and growing your own herbs and more. This is all taking place at the Temple of Ma'at, Shrine of Mami Wata Ma Ma'at Centre, 366A High Road, Tottenham, London, N17 9HT. All right, she's telling us that the it's, if you want to go for individual sessions for the workshops, it's £15. If you want the whole package, it's £55 at the door, but if you pay in advance, it works out to £50. You get a discount of £5. So it's first come, first serve. She didn't say how many people. Don't worry, if that's something you want to do, if you want to learn more about the herbs. I know that the course, that this one that she normally runs, is a lot longer, so she was saying that this is like a little taster. So please, if that's what you want to do, you can give her a call. Her telephone number is 07949 713 639. That's 07949 713 639. and that is the course run by Sista Kandaki from Instrumental Health. Okay, you are in tune to the Community Information Show here on blessradio.org. Telephone number is 07944 431 366. That's 07944 431 366. If there's anything that you'd like to share in relation to community information, like I said, say a couple of times, we don't really to promote the dances and things on this show because we want to ensure that we're here with the community vibe. I know dances can be seen as a community event, community vibe, but we're not really promoting the dances and things like that. It's mainly community organisations that we're promoting on the Community Information Show. Yes, yeah. So we'll just leave it there at the moment. What I'll do is I'll share this with you. Where are we going? Let's go here. Just share this with you. Oops.
Oh.
Sorry. Oops, Daisy.
Lady Leo.
African people, if we would like to own our own schools, our own businesses, our own community development and skill centres, our own banqueting suites, police our own communities and stop knife and gun crimes, give £1 or more per week to the Bade Fund. Please give generously today and remember our children and grandchildren's future is our responsibility. The Bade Fund, our future is our business. To contribute to the Bade Fund, go to www.baedfund.co.uk. So that's www.baedfund.co.uk. Click on Donate Now, where you will find the details, or click on the PayPal section in the header box. The Bade Fund, the Bade Fund, the Bade Fund, the Bade Fund.
Many more will have to die. Don't ask me why.
This is called the cancer bush.
Oh, I've heard of this. The cancer bush.
It is from nature that diseases arise, and from nature comes the cure. Dr. Paracelsus. Cancer bush, the hidden herb that supports and treats cancer patients, is brought to you by Mother Nature's traditional herbal remedies. Cancer bush is the miracle herb and can also treat these following conditions: cancer, chronic fatigue, depression, diabetes type 2, piles, hot flushes, gonorrhea, syphilis, hemorrhoids, chlamydia, rheumatoid arthritis, tuberculosis, HIV/AIDS, mental stress, lupus influenza, swine flu, and more. To find out more, and if you or a loved one are suffering from the following conditions, please head over to our website on www.cancerbush.org.uk. If you'd like to email us, please email at info@cancerbush.org.uk. You can also call us on 0208 993 4870. That's